What if the next game you play becomes the one you remember for years? Not just for a weekend, not just for a few fun matches. I mean the kind of game that pulls you in so deeply that you keep thinking about it even when the screen is off. The kind of game that makes you lose track of time, message your friends at midnight and say, "You need to try this." Every year, a lot of games come out. Some look amazing in trailers but feel empty when you play them. Some get a lot of hype, then disappear in a few weeks. And some come out quietly, then slowly take over everyone's free time. That is what makes gaming so exciting right now. You never fully know which titles will surprise you, which worlds will pull you in, and which games will become the ones people talk about all year long. And that is exactly why this list matters. Because if you are tired of wasting money on games that feel boring after 2 hours, or you are tired of downloading titles that look good online but feel flat in real life, then this video is for you. Today we are looking at the best games you must play this year. Not games that are only popular because of ads. Not games that people pretend to like because everyone else is talking about them. We are talking about games that give you real fun, real excitement, real challenge, and real value for your time. Some will make you feel like a hero. Some will test your skill. Some will give you freedom. Some will hit you with a great story. And some will be so addictive that one match can turn into 3 hours before you even notice. Gaming is bigger now than ever before. It is no longer just a small hobby for a few people. It is part of everyday life for millions. Kids play games, adults play games, students play after school, workers play after long days. Friends use games to hang out. Families use games to have fun together. Even people who say they are not really gamers often have at least one game they keep going back to. That is because games are not just about winning anymore. They are about escaping stress. They are about exploring new worlds. They are about feeling something. They are about challenge, fun, competition, discovery, and sometimes even comfort. A great game can make you feel smart, brave, calm, excited, and connected all at once. And when you find the right one, it can become part of your routine in a way movies and shows usually do not. A movie ends. A game stays with you. You make choices in it. You improve in it. You build stories inside it. You remember moments from it. That is why picking the right game matters so much. The hard part is that there are too many options. New games drop all the time. Big studios push huge releases. Smaller teams bring out fresh ideas. Remakes come back. Sequels grow even bigger. Old games get new updates and suddenly feel alive again. Multiplayer games keep changing. Single-player games keep getting deeper. Open-world games keep getting larger. Survival games keep getting harder. Sports games keep trying to feel more real. Racing games keep becoming more beautiful. And with so many choices, it gets easy to feel lost. You open your store page, scroll for a while, and suddenly everything starts looking the same. One game promises action. Another promises freedom. Another says it has the best story ever. Another says it has endless content. Before long, you stop feeling excited and start feeling confused. You wonder what is actually worth your money. You wonder what is truly worth your time. And that is why people search for lists like this. Not because they want someone else to decide for them, but because they want help cutting through the noise. They want to know which games actually deliver. And that word matters here, deliver. Because a game can have great graphics and still be boring. A game can have a huge map and still feel empty. A game can have famous hype and still feel like work. We have all seen it happen. A trailer drops, the internet explodes, everyone talks about it, people pre-order it. The first week is loud. Then, a few days later, the excitement fades. Players start noticing the weak parts. The world looks pretty, but there is nothing to do. The combat seems cool, but it gets old fast. The story sounds deep, but it never really goes anywhere. The online mode feels fun at first, then turns into the same thing again and again. That is the danger of judging games too early. A true must-play game is different. It does not just make a strong first impression. It keeps giving you reasons to stay. It rewards your time. It feels polished. It has a strong identity. It knows what it wants to be. It does not just chase trends. It creates moments people remember. And those are the games we are after today. Now, when people hear the words best games, they often think the answer is simple. They think the list will only be about the biggest names, the loudest titles, the most expensive games. But that is not always true. Sometimes the best game for you is not the one everyone is posting about. Sometimes it is the one that fits your style perfectly. Maybe you love fast action. Maybe you want a deep story. Maybe you want to build, survive, race, fight, explore, or compete. Maybe you want a game that feels relaxing after a hard day. Or maybe you want one that pushes you so hard that winning feels amazing. That is why a smart list should not be built on hype alone. It should be built on fun, on quality, on replay value, on impact, on how much a game sticks in your mind after you stop playing. That is what separates a game that is good from a game you must play. Think about the games people never stop talking about. They do not remember them only because they were popular. They remember them because they made them feel something. Maybe it was the first time a boss fight made their heart race. Maybe it was the first time they explored a city that felt alive. Maybe it was the moment a story twist hit them out of nowhere. Maybe it was the laughter from a late-night match with friends. Maybe it was the relief of finally beating a level that looked impossible. Great games create moments like that. They turn simple play into memories. And memories are a huge part of why this hobby matters. People do not just say, "I played that game." They say, "I was there when this happened. I could not believe that ending. We stayed up all night playing. I almost gave up, but then I finally won." Games become stories people carry with them. That is why this topic is bigger than just a list. It is about how we choose where to spend our time, our money, and our attention. This year is especially exciting because gaming feels more open than ever. There is something for everyone. If you love giant worlds, there are worlds waiting for you. If you love strategy, there are games that will make you think hard. If you love action, there are games that move fast and hit hard. If you love horror, there are titles ready to keep you awake at night. If you love teamwork, there are games that feel better when you play with others. If you love going solo, there are games that make you feel completely lost in another world in the best way. And that wide range is important, because the best games of the year are not all trying to do the same thing. Some are trying to tell unforgettable stories. Some are trying to give you perfect gameplay loops. Some are trying to bring back old magic in a fresh way. Some are trying to surprise you with ideas you did not expect. That mix is what makes modern gaming special. You are not stuck with one type of fun. You get choices. The real question is, which choices are the smartest ones? A lot of people waste time in gaming without even knowing it. They keep jumping from one title to the next. They install, uninstall, start, quit, repeat. They spend more time searching than actually playing. They chase whatever is trending. They follow every loud opinion online. And because of that, they miss games that would have been perfect for them. This happens all the time. Someone ignores a great game because the title did not look exciting. Someone avoids a game because it was not everywhere on social media. Someone skips a game because they assume it is not their type, then later tries it and wonders why they waited so long. That is another reason this video matters. It is not just about showing big names. It is about helping you avoid missing out, because the right game can change your whole year as a player. It can become your go-to game after work, your favorite world to get lost in, your weekend obsession, your stress relief, your competitive challenge, your escape. And let's be honest, games are not cheap. In many cases, buying a new game is a real choice. You want to feel good about it. You want value. You want something polished. You want something that does not waste your time. Nobody likes spending money on a title that feels unfinished, repetitive, or forgettable. That is frustrating. It feels even worse when you were excited for it. So when we talk about the best games you must play this year, we are also talking about smart choices. Which games deserve your attention? Which ones offer strong gameplay, strong design, and strong reasons to keep coming back? Which games feel like they were made with care instead of pushed out too fast? Which ones have that rare mix of fun and quality? Because when a game gives you that, it becomes more than a product. It becomes an experience you are glad you paid for. Another thing that makes gaming so special is how different every player is. One person wants intense action. Another wants peace. One wants freedom. Another wants structure. One wants to laugh with friends. Another wants to sit alone in a dark room and get pulled into a deep story. There is no single way to love games. That is why the strongest lists do not talk down to players. They do not act like there is only one right answer. They understand that gaming is personal. A game that means nothing to one person can mean everything to another. But even with all that personal taste, there are still titles that rise above the rest. Titles that stand out because they are just that well made. Titles that show skill, creativity, and polish from the first hour to the last. Titles that make both casual players and hardcore fans stop and pay attention. Those are the kinds of games we are chasing today. Some games are built on story. They pull you in with characters, choices, emotion, and mystery. You do not just play them. You live inside them for a while. You care about what happens. You think about the next mission even after you stop. You keep asking yourself what comes next. Story-driven games can be powerful because they do something rare. They make you active inside a story instead of just watching one. And when done right, that feels amazing. But story is only one side of it. Other games are all about pure gameplay. No slow build, no long setup, just instant fun. Tight controls, smart systems, addictive loops. The kind of games that feel simple at first, then suddenly take over your free time because they are just so satisfying to play. These games prove that a title does not need a giant plot to be unforgettable. It only needs strong design and that magic feeling that makes you say, "One more round." Then there are the open world games, the huge ones, the kind that make you look at the map and feel excited instead of tired. The kind where every road, mountain, forest, city, desert, or hidden corner feels like it might contain something worth finding. A great open world game makes exploration feel natural. It makes you curious. It rewards you for going off the path. It gives you stories without forcing them. It lets you create your own pace. That freedom is one of the best feelings in gaming. You stop following a straight line and start making your own journey. You see something strange in the distance, head toward it, and end up inside a moment you never planned. Those surprises are what make open-world games so powerful when they are done right. But again, not every open world is worth your time. Some are full of empty space. Some look big but feel dead. The best ones feel alive. They give you reasons to care. We also cannot ignore multiplayer games. These are the titles that keep people coming back week after week. Sometimes it is competition. Sometimes it is teamwork. Sometimes it is chaos. Sometimes it is pure fun with friends. Multiplayer games have a different kind of power. They change every time you play because other people are part of the experience. One match can be calm, the next can be wild. One night can be full of wins, another can be full of disaster and laughter. That unpredictability is part of the fun. And when a multiplayer game gets it right, it becomes more than a game. It becomes a place to meet, compete, joke around, and make memories. That is why some of the biggest games in the world are not just titles people play. They are habits. They are routines. They are social spaces. They are part of everyday life. But just like with any genre, only a few truly stand out. The best ones feel fair, fun, exciting, and alive. And then there are games that surprise the whole industry. The ones that do not seem like obvious hits at first. Maybe they come from smaller teams. Maybe they break normal rules. Maybe they mix genres in a fresh way. Maybe they just feel different. These games are exciting because they remind us that gaming still has room to surprise us. Not every great experience comes from the biggest studio or the loudest trailer. Sometimes the game that steals your heart is the one you almost ignored. The one you tried because of a friend. The one you bought during a sale. The one you downloaded just to test for an hour. Then suddenly it becomes the game you cannot stop thinking about. That is one of the best feelings in gaming. Finding something unexpected that turns out to be incredible. And every year there are a few games like that. The challenge is knowing where to look. That is where this countdown comes in. This is not just a list to fill time. It is not a random pile of names. It is a guide for players who want real quality. Players who want games that feel exciting, complete, memorable, and worth the hours. We are looking at titles that people are loving for real reasons. Games that stand out because of how they play, how they look, how they feel, and how they stay in your mind. Some of these games are massive. Some may be more personal. Some might be exactly what you expected to see. Some might catch you off guard. but each one earns its place by doing something well enough to deserve attention this year. Now, before we jump into the countdown itself, let's talk about something important. What actually makes a game must play? Because that phrase gets used too easily. People throw it around all the time. Every new release is must play. Every trending title is must play. Every game with pretty graphics becomes must play for a week. But the truth is, a real must play game needs more than hype. First, it needs strong gameplay. If the core of the game is not fun, nothing else can save it. The controls matter. The movement matters. The feel matters. A good game should feel satisfying in your hands. It should make simple actions enjoyable. Fighting, driving, exploring, building, aiming, solving, whatever the game is built around, that part has to work. If that part is weak, the whole thing starts to fall apart. Great gameplay is the base of everything. Second, a must-play game needs identity. It needs to know what makes it special. Why should someone choose this game instead of 10 others? A strong game answers that question clearly. Maybe it has a world unlike anything else. Maybe its combat is fast and smooth. Maybe its art style is unforgettable. Maybe its story hits hard. Maybe its online mode feels fresh every time. Whatever it is, the best games usually have one strong thing that immediately stands out. They do not feel generic. They do not feel like copies. They feel like themselves. And that matters. Because people remember games with personality. They remember games that had confidence. Games that knew what they wanted to be and delivered it well. Third, a must-play game needs value. Not just money value, though that matters too. Time value. Does the game respect your hours? Does it reward your effort? Does it keep giving you new reasons to stay interested? Some games are short but powerful. Some are huge and full of content. Both can be great. The real question is whether the experience stays strong. Does it drag? Does it repeat itself too much? Does it lose energy? Or does it keep surprising you, challenging you, and rewarding you? A great game makes your time feel well spent. You log off feeling glad you played instead of feeling like you just filled empty hours. Fourth, a must-play game often creates conversation. People talk about it. Not because marketing told them to, but because they want to. They share moments from it. They recommend it. They argue about it. They post clips. They swap tips. They laugh about things that happened in it. That kind of real player energy matters. It shows that a game has presence. It has impact. It has life beyond the first week. It means the game reached people in a real way. Not every great game becomes huge online, of course, but games that leave a mark usually create some kind of wave, a buzz, a feeling, a sense that this is something people care about. Fifth, a must-play game gives you a reason to remember it. Maybe it is one giant moment. Maybe it is 10 small ones. Maybe it is the feeling of stepping into the world for the first time. Maybe it is a boss fight you barely survived. Maybe it is a scene that made you sit in silence. Maybe it is a match with friends that turned into chaos. Maybe it is a twist you never saw coming. Great games leave marks like that. You do not just finish them and move on. They stay with you. Sometimes for weeks. Sometimes for years. And that staying power is a huge part of what separates a decent game from a truly special one. This year, players are looking for more than flashy promises. They want strong experiences. They want games that work well, games that feel complete, games that are worth recommending. And honestly, that is a good thing. It pushes the industry forward. It tells studios that players notice quality, that players care about polish, that players can tell the difference between empty hype and real value. We are in a time where audiences are smarter, more selective, more careful. That means when a game truly stands out now, it usually earns it, and that makes the best titles of the year feel even more important. There is also something emotional about finding your game of the year. It becomes part of your personal timeline. You remember where you were when you started it. You remember the first night you got hooked. You remember the weekend you could not stop playing. You remember the friend who told you to try it. You remember the frustration, the fun, the wins, the losses, the surprise, the excitement. The best games do not just fill your schedule, they mark a period of your life. Years later, one title can bring back a whole season of memories. That is powerful. And it is one reason people care so much about lists like this. They are not just asking, what is popular? They are really asking, what experience should I not miss? That is the spirit of this video. We are not here to chase noise. We are not here to throw random titles at you. We are here to find the games that feel alive, the games that feel worth it, the games that can become your next obsession, your next challenge, your next comfort game, or your next unforgettable adventure. Whether you play on console, PC, or both, whether you love action, racing, story, strategy, sports, survival, or online battles, there is something exciting waiting in this list. And the best part is that we are not starting with the obvious answer and ending with a boring one. We are building a full journey, a real countdown, one where every spot matters. So here is my promise. Stay with me until the end of this video, and you will not just get a list of big game names. You will get a clear idea of which games are worth your time, which ones offer the most fun, and which one truly deserves the top spot this year. And trust me, the #1 pick is not just there because of hype. It earns that place in a way that might surprise you. Also, one of the games later in this countdown is the kind of title that many people almost skipped at first, but once they tried it, they could not stop playing. That one alone could end up becoming your personal favorite, so do not leave early, because the higher we go, the better these picks get. Before we begin the countdown, take a second and think about your own gaming style. What kind of player are you right now? Are you looking for something fresh because your current games feel stale? Are you looking for a title to play with friends? Are you looking for a deep solo experience you can sink into at night? Are you looking for challenge, escape, speed, story, or chaos? Knowing what you want makes a huge difference, because the best game is not always the loudest one. It is the one that meets you at the right moment, the one that gives you the exact feeling you have been missing. Maybe you need a world to get lost in. Maybe you need competition. Maybe you just need fun again. If that is you, then you are in the right place. Gaming should feel exciting, not tiring. It should feel rewarding, not like homework. It should pull you in, not push you away. But when your game library gets full of titles you barely touch, that excitement can fade. You start to wonder if games are not as fun as they used to be. Usually that is not the problem. The real problem is that you have not found the right game yet, the one that clicks, the one that reminds you why you love gaming in the first place. This list is built for that moment, for that player, for the person who wants to feel that spark again. And chances are, at least one of these games is going to give you exactly that. There is also something great about starting a game at the right time, when the community is active, when guides, clips, opinions, and excitement are everywhere, when updates are fresh, when your friends are talking about it, when the online scene is alive, or, in the case of story games, when the praise is strong and you know you are about to experience something worth your attention. Timing matters more than people think. Playing a great game in the year it hits hard can feel different. You are part of the moment, part of the conversation, part of the wave, and that makes the whole experience even better. But even then, this is not about rushing blindly into whatever is new. It is about being smart, because not every new game deserves your energy. Some do. Some really do. And when they do, you can feel it. The confidence is there, the design is there, the polish is there, the fun is there. The community is there. The staying power is there. Those are the games we are about to talk about. The ones that stand tall. The ones that prove why gaming remains one of the most exciting forms of entertainment in the world. Because unlike passive entertainment, games ask something from you. Attention, skill, curiosity, choice. And in return, the best ones give you an experience that feels personal. So get ready, because this countdown is for the players who do not want average. It is for the players who want the best. The players who want games that feel worth remembering. The players who want to know what is truly worth downloading, buying, starting, and sticking with this year. Some of these titles may become your next long-term obsession. Some may become your favorite story of the year. Some may become the game you keep coming back to every week. And one of them may become the game you talk about long after this year is over. This is not just about playing more. It is about playing better, choosing better, finding the titles that bring real joy, real challenge, and real excitement back into your gaming life. So whether you are a casual player looking for one amazing experience, or a hardcore gamer hunting for the next big thing, this list is made for you. Stay locked in, keep your favorites in mind, and see how many of these games are already on your radar, because by the time we reach number 1, you may have your next must-play title ready to go. Now the stage is set, the hype is real, but this time it is backed by quality. The choices are strong, the year is packed, and the countdown is about to begin. From big adventures to addictive online battles, from unforgettable worlds to pure gameplay magic, these are the titles fighting for a place in your library. These are the games that players are loving, recommending, and coming back to again and again. These are the games that can turn a normal night into a 5-hour session without warning. These are the games that remind us why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. So let's begin this countdown of the top 10 best games you must play this year. And trust me, you will want to hear every single